All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tolleson Talks. I am your mayor, Juan F. Rodriguez. Buenas noches for those that are joining us. If you're not familiar with, first of all, if this is your first time logging on to Tolleson Talks, welcome. It is a forum for us to discuss what's going on in the city of Tolleson, different activities, opportunities for you to get yourself involved with or a member of your family. And like every show that we have a couple things that are ongoing. So I'm going to make some general announcements. First of all, if you'd like to participate or if you have a question, we are on Zoom. So Zoom uses the chat option. So you can put in, hey, John Paul, good evening. You can put in your comments or questions in the chat option, and we'll try our best to answer it, specifically if they are questions about what we're presenting tonight. If they're not, what we do is we have some staff that are managing the meeting in general, and they take that information, take your information down, and then try to get you an answer. So make sure that they can provide the best customer service possible for everybody watching. So if you do have any of that, please use the chat option, and that is always the best way to do it. We will be working through this program tonight. I promise to be brief. I'm not long-winded because I know attention span is about 30 minutes, and then ya cortale, people want to go and have dinner or watch TV or whatever. So I'm gonna try to keep it within that 30-minute time frame. But we do have some guest speakers that I'm gonna be introducing here in a bit. And then we also have a segment called the Taste of Tolleson. And in the past, the Taste of Tolleson has been more specific to different restaurants, eateries here in town. This episode is going to follow in the same vein, but it's going to be a little different. We're going to talk about some food providers here in our city that provide food when times may be a little heavy, maybe a little tough, and people may be looking for some opportunities or a hand up in their current situation. So I think if we're going to be talking about restaurants that we can go eat at, it's important that we talk about all opportunities for Tolleson residents, and for that matter, residents of the West Valley, where they can use these other locations, specifically food banks, as a resource to help themselves up when they may be experiencing some hardships in their lives. So we'll have a little video on that as well. So we'll be talking a little bit about that, and we're also going to be having some drawings. So I noticed we have a number of people on here, and so make sure that you submit your email address through the chat option, because later on, staff in the background is going to be doing a giveaway. And in the spirit of the 4th of July, it's going to be swag. So I believe the swag includes something, a barbecue grill with the city of Tolleson. Francis, do you know what's included?
I believe it's an apron, like different swag items, City of Tolleson, but I know for sure it's like a apron if you're barbecuing. It's pretty cool.
Okay, so it's basically City of Tolleson swag, specifically the barbecue, since we're in the time of the year where we celebrate the 4th of July, and that's something pretty huge here in town. But like I said, we'll have more information on that as we move forward. So we'll have the Tolleson Talks. We'll have our episode where we talk about our eateries. We'll talk about the 4th of July. And then we also have George Good here, who's going to be helping us out with some information as well. So before we do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and just break into it. Francis, John Paul, George, is there anything you wanted to add at this point?
No, I'm good, Mayor.
Okay, good. So
Mayor. Same here. And you don't have to cortale. There's going to be some great information you're going to share, and we all want to hear it.
All right, I'm going to try not to cortale then. All right, so let's begin with introducing a couple of guests. First is our Parks and Recreation Center Director, John Paul Lopez. John Paul's been with the city since like the 19 or 1820s. He's been here forever. He's an institution within the city, and he's also a longtime resident growing up here in town. So he's very familiar with all the happenings in town, whether it's the city of Tolleson or outside of it. And of course, his right-hand person counterpart is Francis Valenzuela. Francis, how are you?
Doing well, Mayor. Thank you.
Francis is also a proud Wolverine here in town who works in our Parks and Recreation Center. And they're both going to be sharing some pretty good information. And my last speaker that I think we're going to talk about later on in the episode is going to be our Chief Good, who's going to be talking about fire safety, specifically when it comes to fireworks around the 4th of July celebration. But in the meantime, I'm gonna actually turn it over, talking about the 4th of July. I'm gonna turn it over to our director Lopez and event coordinator Valenzuela to give us some information on exactly what the 4th of July means to Tolleson and all of the Tollesonians.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Welcome, everyone, to our Tolleson Town Talks. Our 4th of July goes back way dated when I was a little kid, and we used to have it at Cowden Park behind our old city hall. Back in the day, fireworks and the water barrel competition with the fire department. Do you remember that?
Horse carriages.
Yeah. Horse carriages. I'll take that. But in 2007, when we opened up Veterans Park, we moved that celebration to the park. In 2008 in July was our first time there, and we incorporated our big water slides. And so we have such a variety of entertainment and things that go on. And I'm going to hand it over to Frances Valenzuela, our events coordinator, who does a great job organizing our events, and she'll tell you all about it.
Oh, thank you, John Paul. Good evening, everyone. I will say we are excited to host our community for 4th of July this year. It's been a long time coming. I know it seems only a few years, but truly I feel like it's been a decade since we last had an event, the 4th of July event. It's a hot one, but it truly is a staple in our community. So our event will take place at Tolleson Veterans Park, and Veterans Park is located at 86th Avenue in Van Buren. Our festivities will begin at 4 p.m. through 9:30 p.m. And we'll have water slides on our baseball field, soccer field, water slides everywhere for the community, and it's free, entirely free. Thank you to our city council. It is free for the entire family. We'll have a variety of slides for the younger children and for older children as well. We'll have live entertainment by a band called New Destiny. They play a variety of music from Tejano to Norteña to old school hip hop. I mean, they play a variety of everything. So we'll have New Destiny band out there this year. Let's see here. We also have we have so much going on for this event. We have a lineup of delicious food vendors. We'll have tacos, burritos, hot dogs, churros, rolled ice cream, Hawaiian shaved ice. Jamba Juice is going to be out there. We'll have some agua fresca vendors. So it's going to be pretty awesome, just even with that. We'll also have human services out there. They're going to host a photo booth. So come with your cameras and you can take pictures and make sure you tag us on social media. And let's see what else are we going to have here. I want to make sure that I cover everything because we have a lot of little details in here. We'll also have some vendors selling some light up toys, gadgets. There'll be some vendors out there with some raffle opportunities as well. Not to mention our teen council. They're going to be selling packaged ice cream and drinks. They have some pretty awesome raffle prizes and a silent auction. I think they're going to do a smoker, a grill, portable AC unit. They have a variety of tools, different items. So you guys want to make sure you come out and support. Let's see. Oh, my favorite part. Free watermelon.
Yes.
Are going to be serving free watermelon to the community. So also last but not least, we'll end the night with our annual fireworks show. As a symbol of our celebration for Independence Day. The fireworks, they're scheduled to start at approximately 9 p.m. So we truly have an evening of exciting activities. We hope you'll join us as we look forward to seeing everyone there. We also would like to remind our residents that we will be offering free Uber rides to and from our 4th of July celebration at Veterans Park. So this incentive is only for City of Tolleson residents. How do I know if I'm a City of Tolleson resident? Well, if you pay your city, water bill to us, then you are a resident. If you live in our apartments here, you are a resident of Tolleson. So I know we get a lot of confusion for homes south of Buckeye Road that have a Tolleson mailing address, but this incentive is specifically for city limit residents. We do have a QR code that you can scan it. I don't know if Nico's going to share the screen.
Yes.
Okay, I couldn't see it. But there's a QR code on there so you can snap a picture of it. If not, you can go to our website. We have all the details on there on how to do it, how to get your voucher. Our website is www.tollesonaz.gov/events. We also have it on our social media outlets. So you guys can make sure you screenshot this and go to our website. Like I said, you can download the voucher. And let's see what else. Make sure I covered everything. Yep. So like I said, we have tons of information. Please go onto our website if you want to screenshot this flyer. We are looking forward to an exciting 4th of July at the park. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact our team. Thank you so much for your time, everyone, and back to you, Mayor Rodriguez.
All right, well, thank you both for that great update. A couple points that I just wanted to highlight here. If you're not familiar with the group New Destiny, look them up on YouTube. They actually have some pretty good recordings. You can see the quality of music that they play. And they get down. I mean, they got a good variety, and they're a very professional outfit, and it's very family friendly. So the music is, if you're gonna come to Tolleson, don't expect gangster rap. Don't expect something that's gonna be offensive to anybody. The music is very family friendly. The event is very family friendly, and yeah, look them up. They're actually a very talented group, New Destiny, and I don't think Francis really talked too much or specifically promoted how wonderful it is to have watermelons for free on the 4th of July. So since I've been a little kid, and a lot of folks that grew up here in Tolleson, they show up to the 4th of July, and it's summertime, it's hot. And yeah, now we got water slides and the kids can go and get on for free, and it's awesome. But to get a freshly cut piece of watermelon, beautiful red, just super sweet, and being taken out of this freezer. We have a truck and a freezer, so these watermelons are nice and cold. And just being able to just munch on that for the next hour or so, and then when you're done, get back in line and get another piece. It's a priceless experience. And I can tell you, every year coming here as a kid, that's what I walked away with, just that memory of this wonderful watermelon. And now as we got older, we're the ones cutting them up, and I see the smile on people's faces. And I got to tell you, if anything, come out to this event just to enjoy the free, cold, sweet watermelon. You will thank me for it for days on end. You'll thank me for it until next year's 4th of July celebration. It is one of the many traditions that we have here. Just like in Tolleson, 4th of July, we are very proud of having a wide variety of Mexican food on the 4th of July. So come on out and have a burrito, taco, tostada for the 4th of July celebration. And even though it's a little different, it's still very, very good. So please come on out. And like Francis said, if there's any questions, feel free to contact them over at the Parks and Recreation Center. You can call City Hall here and they'll put you in contact with them. Our number here is 623-936-3711. And the last thing I'm going to say about that, because you guys did a tremendous job of presenting all the information, is the QR code on the flyer that was put up earlier. It's kind of hard to see here, but this is the QR code down here. All you do is you get your smartphone, you take a picture with it, and it gives you a voucher. So if you live in Tolleson and you want to ride to the park, it's free. And so some folks in Tolleson, I'm not gonna say how many or who, but they like to enjoy a couple of cold drinks. Some of them may have alcohol in them. And the last thing you want to do is be driving around under the influence on the 4th of July, where we have kids walking around everywhere, families enjoying a really good time, and the police driving up and down, of course, patrolling our streets. We don't want to have that kind of interaction. And so we promote getting a ride and being able to enjoy the 4th of July every way possible. Francis, I think you just put up the flyer on the chat. So if you don't have the flyer, you do now. You can download it right off of the app, and you should be good. So we give you a ride, we give you great music, sandia, fireworks. I don't know what else to say. It's just an amazing time. I look forward to seeing everybody out there. And again, it's 4th of July, which is next Tuesday. Yeah. Okay. Help me out here. You guys are on mute.
It's
Sorry.
2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
It's
Yeah, you
on
see,
Tuesday,
I can't wait for the watermelons. I'm already thinking
I
it's next week.
know.
All right. Well, I have to wait another week, but yeah, it's in 2 weeks. It's going to be a great time. So everybody come on out and join us. But with that, there's also a cautionary tale. The 4th of July is going to include, I think it's like a half an hour fire show, and it's put together by a professional outfit. We contract them. We have a field where we do it at. We pass out flyers to let people know this is going to be happening. And we talk to the businesses to clear out a bunch of the brush to reduce the possibility of unintended fire. But really the bigger danger that we really want to stay away from is fireworks and the things that can happen when either children or people that are using fireworks in a manner that they shouldn't be can cause some serious injury to them or the people around them. So with that, I've asked our chief preparation officer, George Good, to come on here and share some very good information with us on the do's and the don'ts when it comes to fireworks in your home, in your neighborhood, in the general area where people should remain as safe as they can, just like they can in our event. So Chief Good, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. A couple do's are, do come out to see us on the 4th of July at the park, and do have the watermelon that we are all talking about. The mayor's making everyone's mouth water. But some of the don'ts that we talk about are unfortunately,
Did I mention that they're seedless?
you did not.
I'm sorry, they're seedless watermelons. You don't have to spit the seeds out, you just eat.
You just keep eating, keep swallowing, but some of the things that we caution people about, Mayor, and everyone, is that you don't want to have little kids using the fireworks. So one thing that's important to mention is that we do have an ordinance against the use of fireworks, which it can be a little bit confusing, but consumer fireworks, what we call, are they're legal to use in Tolleson, but the other fireworks, the bigger fireworks in the tubes and the aerial fireworks, which can shoot those embers subject to the wind. And you were mentioning, Mayor, how the brush can be ignited. That's one example of why we don't want to have those, because certain types of fireworks, like the Chinese lanterns, where they just kind of float up there and they go wherever the wind takes them. And then, a couple of years ago, we had 2 houses burned down in Scottsdale next to each other because of those types of fireworks. But we want to make sure that kids, if they're using fireworks, that they're supervised, but they should never be using even sparklers alone. They can start fires. There are sparks in sparklers, and they're also very hot, so they can ignite fires, especially if they're around certain types of things, flammable liquids, for example. So you have to just make sure there's a lot of adult supervision anytime that kids are using them. And that's what kids want to do, right? They want to see the fireworks and they want to light the fireworks. So, and if you're going to use them, we want everyone to remember, use some sort of protection over your eyes and your hands too. We've all heard the stories about how somebody was lighting the M80s and then now they only have one thumb, that type of thing. So, or they had hearing damage because they lit it and somebody's going to throw it, and one guy didn't know that the other guy lit it, and then there you go. So it's a messy situation sometimes, and potentially very dangerous. When you're lighting those fireworks, you want to make sure you're doing it in an open area that doesn't have anything flammable near it, such as brush or other things that can catch on fire from those sparks. And so the program that the city has is to advise people to clear the brush away from their homes and what we call ladder fuel, so they don't, the sparks don't get up into a tree, and then from a tree with dead branches spread to the house. So that would be an example of how we can kind of reduce or minimize the potential for fire to our homes. And here's an example, Mayor, that Nico's put up there for us of the types of fireworks that are legal and non-legal. And the top 2 rows are really more the legal kind. State law, by the way, keeps us from preventing the sale of fireworks in Tolleson. So we can't prevent the sale of them, but we can prevent the use of those. And I would call your attention to the ones at the bottom, the skyrockets, those types of things. And you see the one on the right, kind of the orange one at the bottom there. It's in a tube. Those are the same type, and the blue one down right below it. Those are the types that the professional fireworks displayers use, and they'll use up to 4 and 5 inch shells. Those are a little bit smaller there, but they can still pack quite a wallop. And again, subject to the wind direction, fireworks can be very dangerous. So that's why they're prohibited here, and our ordinance specifically prohibits those. And our police department is running ragged that night, and our fire department is typically running ragged. And we did have a really large fire right in the area of our retention basin at 91st and Van Buren a couple of years ago, and we're so busy that night responding to all the other fires that fortunately through the auto aid system our partners came in and really helped to put that fire out. But it just, in a heartbeat, it was just going like crazy. And So those are the types of things that can happen, and we can't control the wind, and we, in worst case scenario, it hasn't happened. And so knock wood, in my case, they're right there so that it doesn't. But if it's really windy, there is that possibility that we would have to cancel it, but it's never happened since I've been here in almost 20 years. So we've been real lucky with that. And I expect no different this time around. But a couple of other tips, Mayor, are that, if you light a firework and it's nothing happens, don't go try to light it again. That's kind of it didn't take, so I'm going to relight it. And then you get there to relight it and boom, it goes off right in your face. So that's a real potential hazard. And then when you're through with all your fireworks, you want to just gather them all up and put them in a bucket of water. Make sure that there's no sparks, which you're going to spread, almost like a campfire you do when you go camping, so that there's no preventable incidents because we were careless with the fireworks. And you did talk about something else with respect to the Uber and Lyft and how we have rides for people. We, maybe if they're partaking of cold beverages, I think you said that may or may not have alcohol in them. Well, we tend to get that liquid courage when we're drinking sometimes, and the whole expression that starts out here, hold my beer, that usually ends bad. There's a lot of stories that end badly because that's how they start. So we want to remind people also, if you're partaking in a nice beverage, which a lot of people do on 4th of July, make sure that you are not using the fireworks and being careless with matches. So those are some of the tips. There's a million tips, but I think some of those are the highlights that we like to offer up for our crowd here tonight that's watching there.
Well, that's really good information, Chief. I think it's important to underscore the extent that staff go to try to prevent serious injury on the 4th of July. I mean, we contract our fireworks to make sure they're done professionally, and we have a really good fire show. And then, of course, fire department, police department, they all mount up and get ready to do their job on this day in hopes that nothing happens. And then, of course, we have, different departments that are telling private property owners that have dry brush that they need to clean it up to reduce any kind of ground fuel that's going to ignite and create a fire hazard in our community. So, thanks to all staff for everything they do. And this information is critical because you're right. We live in a state, and I try my hardest not to get into politics when it comes to our Tolleson talks, because really it's about the service, not so much the politics. But in this state, we have a situation where the legislator allows the sale of a product. The legislator is not responsible for policing or providing public safety for local municipalities, but most municipalities outlaw the use of certain fireworks within their city boundaries because of the inherent danger that it comes with. And so it's kind of like, public officials speaking from one end, but really communicating from another end. And it's very frustrating because the last thing we want, and all the efforts that we are really pushing here in Tolleson, is to keep people safe. The last thing we want is anybody to get injured, whether it's an adult, a kid, or anybody in between. We just want people to have a wonderful 4th of July, be safe, enjoy the show, and be able to wake up on the 5th and go about their lives and, keep moving forward. So all this is really good information. So I really appreciate it. Thank you, Chief.
Yes, absolutely, Mayor.
So we're going to be switching it up here, guys. I noticed some of you have started to send in your email address, but really using the chat, all you need to do is either submit your name. I see Carmen Gonzalez on here, Amanda Rincon, Chipin, Laura C, Mia, Sylvia D. Just type in your name and your email address, because we're going to get ready to do our raffles here. And we do have 3 raffles, I believe. And there's just going to be a bunch of 4th of July swag that somebody in your household, preferably the person running the grill, can wear and support the city of Tolleson stuff. So make sure that you do that here. You got to have a couple of minutes to do so. But in the interim, we're going to switch roles here, and we're going to do our introduction of what staff is referring to as a Service of Tolleson segment. It's a segment that is going to replace, at least for this month, the Taste of Tolleson. So we will not be highlighting a restaurant, but we will be highlighting 2 food providers for our community that really are nonprofits that are critical to a lot of our families when they're experiencing some hardships in their life. They can count on and really be able to get some food to put on the table for themselves and their children. So, Nico, if you can get the video started, let's go ahead and get started. And thank you, Sylvia. I see you putting your information. Hello, Tolleson residents. I'm your mayor, Juan F. Rodriguez, and I'm excited to present a special topic I like to call Tolleson Services. I want to focus on bringing you our residents information about Tolleson services offered by both the city and by other organizations found within our community, primarily nonprofit organizations. This episode of Tolleson Services will focus on the Tolleson Food Bank located at 10 South 93rd Avenue, Tolleson, Arizona, 85353, or basically 93rd Avenue in Jefferson. The Tolleson Food Bank is a 501c3 nonprofit organization and has been helping to feed families in the West Valley for over 35 years. Every week, Monday through Friday, families and other food ministries come to pick up food banks at this location to fill their vans and trucks with groceries to take back to their communities. Nearly 35 tons of food is distributed each month from this location. So we're gonna go inside, get a better look, and then we're also gonna have a conversation with Director Pastor Mike Sims. Come inside and join me. Okay, well, folks, welcome inside. Again, we're here at the Tolleson Food Bank, and I want to introduce Pastor Sims. Pastor Sims, thank you for having us.
Thank you, Mayor, for coming.
Pastor Sims has been here a very long time, and he has been one of the many quarterbacks that have made this food bank a reality. The food bank is always popping. They're always unloading something, stocking something, or helping people get some food for themselves as well. So, Pastor Sims, tell us a little bit of the history of the food bank and how it came to be.
Well, I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't here. It was before my time, I guess you'd say. But in 1988, 89, Pastor Clark was the pastor of the church. He was driving through by one of the farmer fields, and he had a pile of turnips in there. And Pastor Clark decided to stop and ask the farmer what he was going to do with them. So the farmer gave him turnips. He also gave him potatoes. He gave him some carrots, a lot of other things he just had there. That was the start of the food bank. It was kind of accidental, but that's how it started. It just grew from there.
So about how many families do you think you serve, Pastor Sims, here on a monthly basis?
Oh, wow.
Because you said you guys get about 35 tons of donations?
Yeah, and a lot of that goes to the other churches and food ministries that we help along the way. But on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays from 3 to 6, we're open to the public. And probably every day that we're open, I would say 50 to 70 families come through, at least.
There's at least 5 freezers, 2 of which are walk-ins.
Yeah.
And then there's another location as well, so.
And they're all full. Everything you see here right now will be gone by Friday, plus more, because we'll get more tomorrow, more Friday. So it all goes out either to the family.
Comes in, goes right back out.
We have a lot of turnover purposely, get it in, get it out.
A lot of cooperation amongst the food banks. They share food. Food gets here and it goes right back out the door to provide the service that's necessary in our community. And as Pastor mentioned, it's really a regional benefit. This food bank services other ministries where they can help their communities and provide food for them as well. So it's a benefit that, gives time and time again. So it's a beautiful thing. And like we mentioned earlier, need, visits everybody at some point in their life. And so it's important that me as a mayor, the pastor, and all of our staff also take time to recognize that if you know somebody, if it's not you and you may know somebody else that may be struggling, maybe lost their job or experiencing a medical issue or whatever the case may be, resources are available. Our Human Services Department has a slew of resources, but here in the community also, we have resources that you can tap into. So, Pastor, with that being said, if somebody did want to come down here and ask for some food, what are your typical hours of operation?
Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, we open at 3 in the afternoon and we stay open until 6 p.m. in the evening. However, whenever anybody's here, if somebody walks in and says, man, we're really hurting, you know, we just, we're homeless, nobody leaves here without food. As long as there's door, sometimes I'm here by myself, and I'll hear somebody knocking on the door. I'll open the door and they'll go, oh man, is the food bank open? I go, well, it's not open, but what do you need? And you know, I'll just come back and get them. Sometimes it's a family. I try to make a box, you know, suitable for them. Sometimes it's just an individual who's homeless down on their luck. They're hungry.
Yeah.
We make sure we get them something to eat.
That's
We
awesome.
have one fella that comes by, you know, maybe 3 or 4 times a week. All he asks for is cereal and milk, but he's homeless, and so we set him up with whatever he needs.
Yeah.
So we do ask for donations for those who can afford it, but nobody comes here and leaves, even if they, you know, if they don't have any money, they have no funds, we still give them food. We don't let anybody leave here hungry.
If you have a need, they're here to help. So just come on down and knock on that door and hopefully somebody will be here.
Yeah.
But if not, come during their hours, 3 to 6 p.m. and they'll definitely be here. Pastor, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Appreciate all your help and thank you for your time and your kind words with us today.
Thank you for coming down and visiting. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
God bless.
All right, well, that was our video. Nico, were you gonna do a take on the other nonprofit that serves here? I know we had done a video for the St. Mary's Food Bank.
That one wasn't prepared yet, Mayor. We'll
Okay.
soon.
All right, we'll do that one in the future. But for the time being, I'm gonna give you guys one last opportunity to submit your email address and your name to get into the drawing, because if not, you can't win. And I know some of you guys have put in your information and you're thinking, I have a really good chance of winning, because some of the folks have not. So I want to make sure everybody has an opportunity to at least put in their information. And with that being said, yeah, I do want to thank Pastor Shally for allowing us to come down to the food bank. And you know, there's a lot of times there's connections that we don't really see, but it's important to know that they're out there. And the food bank is huge. And one thing that we have here in Tolleson, for those of you that live here, is a bunch of warehouses. And there's time where product doesn't get delivered at a certain time, or for whatever reason, maybe a pallet fell over and, you know, something happened to the product. Not something happened to the product internally. It's still, you know, you can still eat it. It's still healthy, but maybe the labels are wrong. Gatorade comes to mind because my mom used to work there, but sometimes the labels would be printed incorrectly. Well, that's enough for them not to take it to market. So they donate that product. And so it's a product that we can use here in our community. And again, whatever, I learned this by going down there, but I thought the food bank serviced just Tolleson. But the reality is they service all kinds of different churches, and each church has their own group of folks that go to their churches. So they serve the entire, you know, West Valley, even some churches on the East Valley. And you know, this food bank provides food and drinks for them just as much as the people here in Tolleson. So it's an amazing organization. And if you find yourself in a situation where you might have some extra time and you like to volunteer, they're also looking for volunteers always. Literally, diesels pull up and they have product that needs to be unloaded. And you know, what's that saying? Many hands make for small work, or something like that. So the more volunteers that they get, the faster the stuff gets unloaded, and the quicker they can put it into the freezers and in a position to be able to bless people that are out there that are struggling and really need this product. So good stuff. Thank you for everything you guys do, Tolleson Food Bank. So Nico, how we doing?
Doing good, Mayor. I got 6 participants. I'm just gonna ask, if you do win, there's 2 persons that did submit their email address. If you won and you haven't submitted your email address, you put it in the chat, or you can call us at 623-936-7111. and just let them know that you were one of the winners of the Tolleson Talks episode for tonight, June 21st. Otherwise, we won't know how to get a hold of you to get you your nice prize. But anyways, whenever you're ready, Mayor, let me know.
Okay, you know what? Let's do the first one.
Okay, here we go.
Is Amanda Rincon. Amanda, please, if you have not put in your email address, please do so into the chat, or just call us here tomorrow, as Nico said, 623-936-7111. Nico, did you put up what she won? Like a picture of the swag?
I'll look for it. I have to look up the image. Unless you want me to spin it.
Well, look, we have one winner, so why don't you just go ahead and spin it one more time, and then we'll show the image.
Okay, there you
Yeah. Yeah, is the winner of the second, and let's see what they're winning, Nico.
They're winning this apron along with the Tolleson cap and the Tolleson swag bag. So these two items, the cap and the apron, are going to be inside the bag.
Awesome. All right, you have everything ready to go for the 4th of July, and we have, I believe, one more swag bag that we're going to be giving out.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it, Nico. So those are our 3 winners. I see Amanda's information in here.
Yep.
And then I think Sylvia put in her information earlier. Yeah, right here.
Yep, we got it.
And then Mia, I don't know if Mia's done that yet, but
We'll
Mia,
get it.
we'll get it, Mia, or just give us a call here at City Hall. I promise Nico will not take the stuff home and use it for himself. He'll save it here for you, and it'll be waiting. So no, that was good. So again, 4th of July, right around the corner. Be safe, be at the park, come out and enjoy it with us. Have some watermelon, seedless cold watermelon, the best in town. And so before we end for the night, because I want to stay as close as I can to the half an hour mark, and I'm already a little bit over that. But I do want to take some time to thank Director Lopez, Coordinator Valenzuela, and Chief. I gotta keep remembering these titles. And Chief Good for coming on and helping us out, providing us really good information. And hopefully we'll see you guys out there as well. How's our summer program going, guys?
It is going great. Last week we went to the Arizona Diamondbacks game there. We took over 90 kids out there, and then this week is water week, so we'll be at the park on Friday with the kids having fun in water. So they're having a great time this summer.
Awesome. How many kids in total are registered?
About 100 and okay, well now 120. We're about 140 right now.
That's
and
awesome.
we still have a waiting list.
140 kids from Tolleson signed up for the summer program, and we have a waiting list for kids that still want to show up. So people are commenting on their boy loves the summer program. Staff are great. Francis Valenzuela is the best staff. Okay, I made that part up. But anyways, I'm sure someone's gonna comment that later.
She makes the best breakfast, man. She makes the best breakfast.
I'm lunch lady.
There you go. Well, kids gotta eat, so that's great. Great work for with our summer program, and keep up the great work. Chief, thank you very much for the information on our on our stay safe. Don't get hurt with these fireworks things. And of course, everything else you do when it comes to Narcan and informing communities about the dangers of different drugs and stuff like that, and trying to keep our kids and our families as safe as possible. So thank you for doing that for us as well.
It's my honor, sir. Truly.
And then of course, I want to thank Pastor Sims and the folks over at the Tolleson Food Bank for everything that they do, hosting us, being nice enough to allow us into their food bank and giving us a tour, and really meeting us with open arms, as they do anybody who may be in a position of need. Just go down there, as you said, knock on the door. If somebody's there, nobody leaves there hungry. You will walk away with some food, whether it's for you, whether it's your family, whether it's a neighbor, a family member that may be having a hard time. It's a no judgment zone. It's a matter of just taking care of each other. And that's one thing that we do here in Tolleson. It's another one of our proud traditions. We look out for each other. And when somebody's down, we all lend a hand out and help them back up. Because as I said in the segment, need visits everybody. And we got to be there for each other. And that's just the way we do things here. So with that, I want to give Nico a thank you. He's our, you guys can't see him, but he's the one spinning the wheel in the back. And he's putting on the videos. There he is right there. Thank
Hey,
you,
Nico.
How's everybody doing?
And so that's the team, guys. That's what puts this production together for. So Nico, thank you very much as well. And so with that, I want to share everybody a wonderful evening. Thank you for participating, and we will look forward to seeing you guys here in 2 weeks at the 4th of July celebration. Have a wonderful evening. Good night.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, guys.